Too close.
Too close? Hello, good evening to you. Thanks for joining the classic Thursday yoga. Hope you've all had lovely days and have managed to sneak a little bit of sunshine in. And all the trimmings and all the happy Easters and all of that. Cool. I don't think there's too much housekeeping other than you got your mat, your makeshift strap or block or any other accessories that you usually need in your practice. The playlist is in the description. And if anyone else fancies saying hello, it's really nice to see who's there. So if you feel like you want to say hello, that would be super. Hello, Jeff. Good to have you. So I'll let you know when to press play on the playlist. So the theme for today, basically I did my friend's class. Hey. Hi, friends. Oh, yes. My good trusty regulars. Hello. Lovely. So I did my friend's class earlier, and it's called the Dragon Dance, and it's a bit like a mixture of Tai Chi and yoga and dance. And the idea is you embody both the dragon and the warrior who is chasing the dragon out of the town. And there was a lot of character in it, and a lot of there was a lot of story to it and a lot of character. And I kind of thought it'd be really nice to draw out a little bit more of that kind of fun and playfulness in our class today. And I was thinking of, it's one of the first yoga sutras. I think it's in Yoga Sutra Part 1, it's like it's the very first one. And it's Atha Yoga Nushasanam. And that means, well, one of the translations, the one I particularly like, is now this is yoga as I have witnessed it and observed it in the natural world. And I've spoken about this before, but all the different yoga asanas or seats, most of them are all based in the natural world, like the mountain and the pigeon and the lizard. There's a lot of animals, and there's even mountains, and there's warriors. There's all sorts. There's something for everyone. But there's a real sense of when you take those shapes, or when you pretend to be, a dragon, a warrior, a snake. I was about to say, but I don't think that is one. If you catch yourself doing the snake, then let me know later. But there's a sense, it evokes a certain empathy with those creatures or characters. It gives you a bit of an insight when you're trying to be a really graceful bird of paradise. You get a bit more of a sense of how much grace that actually entails to look graceful in that position. Whereas obviously for an actual bird of paradise, it's just it's a walk in the park, isn't it? It's a piece of piss. We were observing one of our cats earlier, and cats just move so effortlessly, don't they? There's not a single tiny little bit of effort wasted or spared. They use just the right amount. My invitation for you this evening is to dial that up in each and every asana. Try and bring even more awareness and feel out what it would be like to fully embody that shape or that seat as it translates. Even add a little bit more drama than you'd normally be used to. Like really go to town on it. And, if you fall over or if you feel like an arse, well, no one can see you, not even me. And if they do see you, then lucky old them, I'd say. It's quite a unique situation, this, isn't it? Where you can kind of, go a bit ad lib and start doing your own thing in your house, or don't, up to you. But I think it might help to feel a bit less inhibited, and I guess it's, yoga can get very heavy and very serious and start to feel like hard work, whereas actually it can be very light and quite silly. So that's my invitation to you. Things like triangle. I'm going to leave that one up to you. What would a triangle do? There's probably university essays written on that. How would a triangle feel? Yeah, that's. I think that's probably taken us into the practice. So we'll start with our meditation today. We finished with it last time, but I think today we'll start with it. So we'll all settle in together. So come to sit tall with a straight spine. Great. Come to sit tall with a straight spine. And if you need to make any last fidgets, any, wriggling of the shoulders, scratching the nose, anything that you need to do now that will enable you to sit more comfortably in your meditation seat, get it out of your system now. Take a nice long inhale and a nice long exhale. And closing down the eyes. And allowing the awareness to turn inwards. And we'll follow the breath in through the nose. Down the back of the throat. Across the collarbones. Down and in between the ribs. Down into the bottom of the lungs. Down into the navel. Down into the sit bones. And down into the feet. Then following the breath, back up into the lower back. Into the middle back. up and under the shoulder blades. Across the tops of the shoulders. Into the back of the neck. Up and over the top of the head. Smoothing across the forehead. Into the eyebrows. The eyelids. The nostrils. The lips. And down into the body. And with every inhale, think let. And with every exhale, think go. Letting go of anything that may have come before this moment. And letting go of anything that may come afterwards. Inhale, let. Exhale, go. And resting the awareness at the heart center. Call to mind someone or something you'd like to offer your practice up to today. Could be an interesting opportunity to offer it up to your favorite animal, or your favorite tree or mountain, your favorite member of the natural world who may not otherwise get a shout out very often, that you're grateful for. And if there isn't one that immediately springs to mind, then just feeling an overall gratitude for the sunshine that we had today. And with that animal, plant, vegetable, mineral, creature in mind, drawing the palms together at the heart center, and we'll open the practice by chanting 3 Oms. Don't be shy, it's just you in your house and nobody minds. Inhale. all fours. And you can press play on the playlist. The first track is a little dramatic. Don't be afraid. I'm just going to close this door. We're just coming through a couple of little rounds of cat and cow with the hands underneath the shoulders and the knees underneath the hips. Just easing into the body and noticing if you encounter any stiffness from your day-to-day, and sending the breath into any areas that need it. On your next inhale, come to a neutral spine, and you're going to tuck your toes and lift the knees about 3 inches off the floor. So keeping the top half of the body exactly as it is with the fingers spread. We'll stay here for 5 nice strong breaths. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, pushing up between the shoulder blades. Exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, feeling the abdominals working. Exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Drop the knees to the ground and take the seat to the heels, taking a child's pose with that. The hands out in front of you and active. And bringing some awareness into the fingertips and into the palms and into the pads of the fingers, which are socketing you into place. Take a nice long inhale down the sides of the body. And as you exhale, you're going to lift up the seat and push up into your downward facing dog. And immediately just start to walk out the dog, bringing some weight into one foot, weight into the other foot. So we want to make sure that our fingers are spread really wide, our elbow creases are drawn towards each other, but the shoulder blades are smoothing down the back away from each other, creating some space and length in the shoulders. And we're looking for a straight spine rather than straight legs. So if you need to take a bend in the legs at any point, but particularly towards the start of the class, then make sure that you do. But try and engage the quads. We want to feel a good lengthening sensation down the backs of the legs. And to help release the hamstrings, it helps to engage the quads. And when you're ready, finding stillness here. And on an inhale, you're going to ripple the body forwards into high plank, taking the weight a little bit more into your hands, lengthening down the back body, really pushing up onto the toes, lengthening down the backs of the legs. And again, engaging the core muscles here, pushing up between the shoulder blades and the neck is long. We're going to stay here for 5 nice, long, strong, deep breaths as well. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, keeping the stomach engaged. Exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale. And as you exhale, push back into downward facing dog, sending the hips high. Inhale, come forward into high plank. And as you exhale, you're going to lower the knees down. And then to the count of 5, we'll lower the chest and chin together. So we're aiming for the chin to be coming down just ahead of the hands and the hips to stay high. For 1, exhale 2, exhale 3. Using the back of the arms, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Leaving the hips high as they are. Just feeling into your knees, chest, chin pose. Then as you inhale, pushing forward, bringing the hips into the ground, the tops of the feet into the ground, coming into your low cobra. And as you inhale, you're going to lift up the hands and hug the backs of the arms, making sure that you're activating the right muscles. Stay here for 5. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale, squeezing the backs of the arms. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale, the neck is long. Exhale 5. Dropping the hands to the ground, taking the seat to the heels and pushing back into downward facing dog. Inhale, bring the body forward into high plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin to the floor, keeping the hips high. Inhale, come forward into low cobra. And exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Beginning to warm up. Then when you're ready, taking little mindful baby steps with the feet towards the hands, keeping a little bend in the knees. And when you arrive at the top of your mat, coming into an easy ragdoll pose. So making sure that the feet are hips distance apart, the head is heavy and long, and taking hold of opposite elbows, taking a little sway from side to side, swinging from the hips, releasing the lower back, the middle back, and the upper back, and letting any tension just fall out of the top of the head. Then finding stillness, releasing the arms and interlacing the hands behind the back. Sending the breath in between the shoulders, bringing the heels of the hands to touch, and sending the breath all the way forward and into the front of the chest, into the collarbones, into the shoulders. And you can try and keep your chin tucked to your chest here, lengthening out the back of the neck. Staying here for 3 more nice big deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Gently releasing the hands and allowing the spine to unfurl 1 vertebrae at a time. Bringing yourself up to standing and letting the head be the very last thing that comes up. And when you're ready, when you've arrived at the top of the mat, we're going to come into Tadasana, mountain pose. So really channeling the strength and the stability of a mountain, anchoring you and rooting you into the earth. So engaging the soles of the feet, lifting up the toes to feel that engagement, then floating them back down. The shins are lifting, the quads are engaged, the glutes are engaged, the pelvic floor, the Mula Bandha is lifting up, the Uddiyana Bandha, the navel lock is drawing towards the spine, then taking good roll back of the shoulders, and keeping the hands strong and the gaze locked in front of you. Strong, stable, steady mountain pose, rising out of the ground. And we'll turn on our Ujjayi Pranayama, the victorious breath. Gently restricting at the back of the throat. 3 with the mouth open all together, then 3 with the mouth closed. Inhale. Steaming up the mirror. 1 more. Then the same with the mouth closed, just through the nose. Remember your intention from the start and enjoy your practice, everybody. Inhale, sweep the prayer high gaze high. Exhale, folding forward into standing forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen to halfway with a straight spine. Exhale, step the right foot back, right knee down, untuck toes. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, stepping back into downward facing dog, keeping the hips high. Inhale, come forward into high plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin to the floor, keeping the hips high. Inhale, push forward into low cobra, opening through the collarbones. Exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward, left heel down, left knee down, untuck toes. Inhale, hook thumb, reach up, arch back. Exhale, stepping forward into standing forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, brings you all the way back up, prayer high, gaze high. Exhale, folding forward into standing forward fold, letting the head be heavy and long. Inhale, lift and lengthen to halfway with a straight spine. Exhale, step the left foot back, left knee down, untuck toes. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, stepping back into downward facing dog. Inhale, come forward into high plank pose. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin to the floor. Inhale, come forward into low cobra, opening through the collarbones. Exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward, right knee down. Exhale, untuck toes. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, stepping forward into standing forward fold. Inhale, brings you all the way back up, prayer high, gaze high. Exhale, folding forward into standing forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen to halfway with a straight spine. Exhale, step the right foot back, right knee down, untuck toes. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, stepping back into downward facing dog, sending the hips high. Inhale, come forward into high plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin to the floor, keeping the hips high. Inhale, come forward into low cobra. Exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward, left knee down. Exhale, untuck toes. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, stepping forward into standing forward fold. Inhale, brings you all the way back up, prayer high, gaze high. Exhale, folding forward into standing forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen to halfway with a straight spine. Exhale, step the left foot back, left knee down, untuck toes. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, stepping back into downward facing dog, keeping the hips high. Inhale, come forward into high plank. Exhale, lower knees, chest and chin to the floor. Inhale, coming forward into low cobra. There's the snake pose, it's low cobra. Exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward, right knee down. Exhale, untuck toes. Inhale, hook thumbs, reach up, arch back. Exhale, stepping forward into standing forward fold, letting your head be heavy and long. Inhale, brings you all the way back up, prayer high, gaze high. Exhale, folding forward into standing forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen to halfway with a straight spine. Exhale, step or jump back into plank and lower through chaturanga or knees gesture. Inhale is upward facing dog, knees off the floor and up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look up and step or jump between the hands. Exhale, folding forward into standing forward fold. Inhale, brings you all the way back up, prayer high, gaze high. Exhale, folding forward into standing forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen to halfway with a straight spine. Exhale, step or jump back into plank and lower through chaturanga or knees chest chin. Inhale is upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look up and step or jump between the hands. Exhale, folding forward into standing forward fold. Inhale, brings you all the way back up, prayer high, gaze high. Exhale, folding forward into standing forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen to halfway with a straight spine. Exhale, step or jump back into plank. Lower from chaturanga or knees chest chin. Inhale is upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, and hold for 5 nice, strong, deep breaths. Inhale, spreading the fingers wide, biceps curl towards each other. Exhale, 1. Inhale, smoothing the shoulder blades down the back away from each other. Exhale, 2. Inhale, lifting up through the hips. Exhale, 3. Inhale, imagine that you're squeezing your ribs towards your spine to lengthen the back even more. Exhale, 4. Inhale, lengthening down the backs of the legs. Exhale, 5. Inhale, look up and step or jump between the hands. Exhale, folding forward into standing forward fold. Inhale, brings you all the way back up. Prayer high, gaze high. Exhale, hands to heart center. Closing down the eyes for a moment and connecting with the breath. And bringing your awareness into your experience right now. In your resting, standing pose. See if you can take your awareness back to that thing or creature in the natural world. See if you can channel a bit more of that piece of nature into your practice as well. Probably easier if it's a cat than if it's a tree stump, but use your imagination. Inhale, sink the tailbones, lift the arms, coming into chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, folding forward into standing forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen to halfway with a straight spine. Exhale, step or jump back into plank and lower through chaturanga or release chest chin. Inhale is upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward, back heel down, sweeping up into warrior 1, hips track forward, strong warrior. Exhale, frame the front foot, step back into plank, lower through chaturanga or release chest chin. Inhale is upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward, right heel down, sweeping up into warrior 1, hips track forward. Exhale, frame the front foot, step back into plank, lower through chaturanga or release chest chin. Inhale is upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look up and step or jump between the hands. Exhale, folding forward into standing forward fold. Inhale, sink the tailbone, lift the arms, coming into chair pose. What would a chair do? Exhale, folding forward into standing forward fold. Inhale, lift and lengthen to halfway with a straight spine. Exhale, step or jump back into plank and lower through chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale is upward facing dog, knees off the floor. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward, left heel down, sweeping up into warrior 1, hips track forward. Exhale, frame the front foot, step back into plank and lower through chaturanga. Inhale is upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward, right heel down, sweeping up into warrior 1. Exhale, frame the front foot, step back into plank, lower through chaturanga or release chest chin. Inhale is upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, look up and step or jump between your hands. Exhale, folding forward into standing forward fold. Inhale, sink the tailbone, lift the arms, coming into chair pose with Utkatasana. Exhale, folding forward into standing forward fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, lift and lengthen to halfway with a straight spine. Exhale, step or jump back into plank. Last one, I promise. Exhale, lower chaturanga, knees, chest, chin. Inhale is upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the right foot forward, left heel down, sweeping up into warrior 1. Even more warrior. Exhale, frame the front foot. Step back into plank. Lower chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale is upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward, right heel down, sweeping up into warrior 1. Exhale, frame the front foot. Step back into plank. Lower through chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale is upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog, and hold for 5 nice, strong, deep breaths. Inhale, grounding into the hands, strong in the arms. Exhale, 1. Inhale, lifting and lengthening through the spine. Exhale, 2. Inhale. See if you can bring your chest further down towards the floor. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale, look up and step or jump between your hands. Exhale, folding forward into standing forward fold. Inhale, sink the tailbone, lift the arms, coming into chair pose with Utkatasana, and hold. Relaxing the arms and the shoulders down away from the ears, and really trying to sink back into your chair, but strong in the shins, making sure that you can still see your toes. See if you can sink a little bit deeper. Gazes forward, strong breath, strong intention. Staying for 2 more nice, big, deep Ujjayi breaths. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, folding forward into standing forward fold. Well done, everyone. Inhale, lift and lengthen to halfway with a straight spine. Exhale, step or jump back into plank. And lower through chaturanga on knees, chest, chin. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, float your right leg up and out behind you, coming into 3-legged dog. Squaring the hips, squaring the hands. A nice big inhale. And as you exhale, bring the right knee to the right elbow. If you have the balance in your practice and you'd like to give it a go, feel free to take the right knee up and onto the tricep and float your back leg up and out behind you. Well done. Inhale, coming out and floating the right leg back up into 3-legged dog. Well done if you managed that, or if you gave it a go, and no worries at all if you didn't. Consolidate the hips, take an inhale. And as you exhale, take the right knee across to your left tricep and see if you can come into the balance here, floating the right leg up and out behind. Brilliant. Take another breath and then gently float the back leg down if you can. Coming back into your 3-legged dog. Doesn't matter remotely if you can't do any of this stuff. Inhale, and as you exhale, step the right foot through the hands and rise up into your high standing lunge. So coming onto the ball of the back foot, the arms are up on either side of the ears, and you're really pressing up into the ball of the back toe and straightening through the back leg if you can. The hips are tracking forward, and we're looking for soft shoulders but strong hands. Locking the drishti, the gaze forward. Take another nice deep inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to take a twist, looking over your right shoulder, spreading the arms wide, kind of like reverse warrior 2 arms. So the left arm is forward, the right arm is back, and we're pivoting at the waist. Staying here for 3 more nice strong breaths. Inhale, exhale, 1. Inhale, rooting the big toe of the right foot into place. Exhale, 2. Inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to come all the way back, round and through, bringing the right arm forward, the left arm back, and coming into warrior 2 legs. So the left foot is square and the right foot is facing forward, and the hips are wide open. Then the gaze is coming over the front middle finger. And we want to make sure that our right knee is tracking towards our big toe, but not flaring out or collapsing in. The gaze is over the left middle finger. And then really sinking into the stance with the feet, but at the same time rooting and rising at the stance with the arms and with the top half of the body. And if you were a terrifying warrior, perhaps this is you holding a spear out in front of you, about to spear a hog out in the wild. Take a nice big inhale. And as you exhale, you're going to reverse the front palm and lift up the right arm, taking the left arm either down the back leg or wrapping it around around the waist, gazing up and under the right arm. Stay here for 5 nice big deep breaths. Inhale, bending into the front knee. Exhale, 1. Inhale, lifting out of the waist. Exhale, 2. Inhale, gazing underneath the fingertips. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Inhale, straightening your front leg. Coming back to warrior 2 arms. And exhale, bend into the front knee. And we're coming into humble warrior. So interlacing the hands behind the back. Inhale, lift the chest. And as you exhale, bending into the front knee, taking the head towards the right big toe. Rooting into the feet and really coaxing the arms up and over the head. And really feeling the difference between our triumphant warrior attacking and our humble warrior surrendering. Can you be even more humble as you sink into the stance, surrendering with the whole top half of the body? 1 more nice big deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Then inhale to come up. Squeeze your pelvic floor. And as you exhale, you're going to bend into the front leg, frame the front foot, step back into plank. Lower through chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale is upward facing dog. And exhale, downward facing dog. We're going to dance through the same sequence again, but this time for just 1 breath. 1 breath on each, in each dance. It will make sense. We're about to do it. So inhale, lift the right leg up and out behind you. Exhale, step forward with the right foot. Inhale, lift up into high lunge, pressing into the ball of the back foot. Exhale, opening out into your twist, so twisting, gazing over the right shoulder. Inhale, coming all the way back through, bringing the back foot down, coming into warrior 2. Inhale, flip the front palm, coming into reverse warrior, opening the chest. Exhale, back into warrior 2. Inhale, straighten the front leg. Interlace the hands behind the back. Exhale, bend the front knee. Surrender with the whole top half of the body. Inhale, brings you all the way back up. Exhale, frame the front foot. Step back into plank. Lower through chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale is upward facing dog or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Just taking a moment here, re-establishing your connection with the breath, coming back to your intention. Take a nice long inhale. We're going to do a flub of the lips, a bit like a horse escaping the stable. I don't think this pose is called horse escaping the stable, but give it one of those. Let it all go. Inhale, float the left leg up behind you, coming into 3-legged dog. Square the hips, square the shoulders. Consolidate here. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, take the left knee to the left elbow. If you want, you can come up into the arm balance. Floating the right leg up and off. Brilliant. Inhale, floating the right leg down if you can, and coming back up into 3-legged dog with the left leg up. Brilliant, everybody. Take a nice, strong inhale. And as you exhale, taking the left knee across the body onto the left tricep, maybe coming into the arm balance on this side. Inhale, coming back up into 3-legged dog. Consolidating here, we'll all meet in 3-legged dog. And as you exhale, stepping the left leg all the way through. Consolidate on your fingertips, and as you inhale, rising up into your high standing lunge. So making sure that you're pressing into the toes of the back leg. Your right leg is strong, your hips are tracking forward, and the arms are up and really strong hands coming towards each other. But the palms are split, but the hands are strong and the shoulders are relaxed, down away from the ears. Sink a little bit further into the front knee. Take a nice long inhale. And as you exhale, we're coming into the twist, gazing over the left shoulder. The right arm is coming forward, the left arm is coming back. Trying to stay tall and reaching out of the waist, but sinking into the front knee. Really imagine plugging the big toe of the left foot into the ground. Stay here for 3 more nice strong breaths. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, and as you exhale, we're coming all the way back through. So bringing the blade of the back foot down and rooting into your warrior 2 legs on this side. So the hips are opening, the gaze is over the left middle finger. And as you sink down into the stance, you feel the hips opening out. Gazing over the left fingertips, relaxing the shoulders. A perfect balance of effort and grace. And we want to make sure that we're not swaying our torso. The torso is in one straight line. Stay for 2 more nice big breaths. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, flipping the front palm and coming into reversed warrior. So taking the left arm up and over, spiraling the chest open, and then taking the right arm either down the back leg or wrapping it round the waist. Sinking into the front knee. With every inhale, expanding, and with every exhale, really spiraling the chest open. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Inhale, open back out into warrior 2. And exhale, straighten through the front leg. Inhale, interlace the hands behind the back, preparing for humble warrior. Exhale, bending into the front knee, taking the arms up and over the head, rooting down with the back leg, and sinking in, surrendering with the whole top half of the body. Inhale, exhale, surrender, even more humble. Inhale, exhale, surrender. Inhale, exhale 3. Inhale, bring the hands up and over the head. Exhale 4. Inhale, exhale 5. Inhale brings you up and out of the stance. And exhale, frame the front foot. Step back into plank and lower through chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. Inhale is upward facing dog or low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. And we're going to dance through that just one more time on this side as well. So inhale, floating your left leg up and out behind you. Exhale, stepping your left foot forward. Inhale, rising up into your high standing lunge. Exhale, twisting right arm forward, left arm back. Inhale, brings it all the way back round through into warrior 2, opening through the hips. Inhale, reverse the front palm and take it back into reverse warrior. Exhale, lifting back into warrior 2. Inhale, straighten the front leg, interlace the hands behind the back and lift the chest. Exhale, surrendering, bring the head towards the big toe of the left foot. Inhale, brings you all the way back up. And exhale, frame the front foot. Step back into plank. Lower through chaturanga on knees, chest, chin. Inhale is upward facing dog or low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. And just pedal out the feet here a bit too. Everybody has stayed so far. That's a really good sign. Must be enjoying taking the form of a warrior in a mountain, which I'm glad to see. And just allowing the breath to settle down. Coming back to your intention. Take a nice long inhale. And a blow of the lip. And when you're ready, inhale, step the right foot forward, rising up into your warrior 1. And exhale into warrior 2. Then inhale, straighten through the front leg. We're taking it into triangle pose, trikonasana. So if you want to shorten the stance, you can. But as you inhale, you're going to reach your right arm forward, reaching under the waist, reaching. Exhale, bring the right hand down onto the right shin, the left arm up and open in one straight line. And making sure that you're consolidating in the feet and in the quads, so that the whole top half of the body is spiraling open, gazing up at the left hand. And making sure that there's still a space between your right ear and your right shoulder. And notice if you feel like your backside is flaring out, try and bring yourself in line. I don't know if any human really knows what a triangle feels like. But if you were going to do an impression of one as far as you've seen them drawn, I mean, this is probably it, isn't it? Take one more nice inhale and one more nice big exhale. Inhale, brings you all the way back up. Exhale, bending into the front knee and bringing the right hand down to the inside of the right foot. Inhale, left or exhale, inhale up. The left arm comes up, taking it into Parsvakonasana B. So spiraling the chest open here too, really anchoring down into the blade of the back foot and spiraling the chest right open. Really working the back of the right arm into the right knee, gazing up at the left fingertips. And if you have the bind in your practice, sneaking the right arm underneath and still spiraling the chest open, staying here for 2 more nice strong breaths, gazing up and over the left shoulder. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Inhale, gazing down at the right foot and gracefully stepping the left knee tip, taking the weight into your left foot and rising up into your bird of paradise. And if you're not bound, then standing on the left foot and lifting up the right foot and opening, taking your right leg at the hip. And then if you can, straightening out the right leg or simply holding it into your right hand. And if you're in your bird of paradise, see if you can float your right toes even higher. Staying here for 2 more nice big deep breaths. Inhale, exhale 1. Inhale, exhale 2. Gently bringing the right foot down and stepping the left leg out behind you. Bringing both hands down to the ground and framing the front foot, stepping back into your high plank. We're going to come into Vashisthasana, side plank. So taking the weight into the right hand and lifting up through the left hand, taking the weight into the blade of the right foot and lifting up through the hips. Inhale, lifting up the hips, gazing at the left fingertips. Exhale 1. Inhale, lifting up even more through the hips. Exhale 2. And if the top leg can float off, really flexing the toes and lifting up the gaze. Exhale 3. Inhale. Exhale 4. Inhale. Exhale 5. Floating the left hand down and lowering through knees, chest, chin to the floor. Inhale, coming forward into your low cobra. And exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, step the left foot forward and rising up into your warrior 1. Exhale, open out into your warrior 2 legs. And then inhale, straightening through the front leg, coming into triangle pose. If you need to shorten your stance, by all means do. So reaching forward out of the stance, bringing the left hand down onto the left shin and the right arm up in one straight line, opening out through the chest and bringing as much grace as it's possible to bring in and as much empathy as you can into being a triangle. And really just channeling all those good straight edges, straight legs, straight arms, and not collapsing through the left side of the body. If you can feel your left side collapsing, then just imagine really reaching out of both sides of the body. Gazing up at the right fingertips, really spiraling the chest open. Staying for 2 more nice big breaths. Inhale, Exhale, 1. Inhale, spiraling the chest open. Exhale, 2. Inhale brings you all the way back up. Exhale, bending into the front knee. Bring the left hand down to the inside of the left foot. We'll come into Parsvakonasana B on this side. So lifting up the right fingertips and pressing the back of the left arm into the front of the left knee. And make sure you're not dumping into the front leg. Really bring some weight, some energy, energize into the blade of the back foot as you spiral the chest open. Making sure that you're not collapsing the chest. Bringing the left side of the body all the way around. Take a breath. And if you have the bind in your practice, sneaking the left arm underneath and reaching for the right wrist or the right fingertips, but without compromising the right side of the body. So still gazing up and spiraling the chest open over the right shoulder. Stay for 2 more nice strong breaths. Inhale, exhale, 1. Inhale, exhale, 2. On your next inhale, floating the right foot to meet the left and taking the weight into the right foot, floating the left foot up and into your bird of paradise on this side. And really rooting your big toe of your right foot into place. And if you're not bound, simply standing on the right leg and lifting up the left leg. See if you can open up through the hip and just lengthening the toes out as much as you can. And if you're in your bird of paradise, really rooting into your standing leg and feeling that light featheriness of your left leg floating up. Staying for 2 more nice big breaths. Inhale, spreading the fingers, spreading the feathers wide. Exhale, 1. Inhale. And as you exhale, bringing the left foot down and stepping the right leg out behind you. Framing the front foot. Stepping back into plank. And we'll come into side plank Vashisthasana on this side. So taking the weight into your left hand and the outside of the left foot, gazing up at the right fingertips. Inhale, really lifting up through the waist, engaging through the side body. And if you feel like you can, floating the top leg off, turning it into a balance, really sending the energy up. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. And as you exhale, bring the right hand down and lower through knees, chest, chin to the floor. Inhale, come forward into low cobra. And exhale, seat to heels, downward facing dog. Inhale, look up and step or jump between your hands. Exhale, folding forward into standing forward fold. And then taking the feet to hips distance apart. The feet, to hips distance apart. And reaching for your 2 big toes with your peace fingers, taking as much of a bend in the knees as you need to. And really letting go with the top half of the body. Enjoying that feeling of lengthening down the backs of the legs. On an inhale, you're going to lift and lengthen through the top of the body. And then as you exhale, really bending into the arms and pulling the torso towards the legs, if that feels good. Taking as much of a bend in the knees as you need to if you're tight of hammy. Try to send some of the weight forwards or just experimenting with the weight in the feet. Trying to come back to your intention, allowing the energies to settle down, but keeping the experience inside the body, not floating away, but staying present. And when you're ready, sliding the whole palm of the hand underneath the foot, bringing the toes right up to the wrist crease. And if you're able to, just gently straightening out the backs of the legs, extending through the backs of the legs, and no pressure to whatsoever. The most important thing here is we're experiencing a nice deep hamstring stretch and a release of the lower back. And forward bends are restorative for the central nervous system. So giving you a chance to come back to your body after that quite racy little practice we just did before then. Take 2 more nice big deep breaths here. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. And then when you're ready, taking your feet wide and coming into your deep squat pose, Malasana. So the toes face out and the heels face in, and then really sinking into the hips, bringing the hands to heart center. If your heels don't come to the floor, then don't worry too much, but if they do and you feel stable, then really sinking into the stance, but keeping the spine long. And as you squeeze your palms together, really opening through the chest. We're looking to experience an opening in the groins, an opening in the chest, and as you press into the hands, that opening seems to increase. Staying here for 2 more nice big breaths. Inhale, exhale 1, inhale, exhale 2. And when you're ready, lifting up and out of the hips again, straightening through the backs of the legs. And if you need to shuffle back on your mat, then please do. But we're preparing to come into Bakasana, crow pose. Channeling our inner crow. So spreading the fingers wide and kind of pressing the pads of the fingertips into the ground, almost a little bit like crow's feet. And then if they'll go, bringing the knees up and into the backs of the legs. And if you're just having a play with this, you can just imagine lifting up one foot, lifting up the other foot. If you've got a crow into tripod headstand in your practice, feel free to take the head down and lifting up through the legs. And if you're in your crow, really just notice that the more firmly you push down with your crow's claws, the lighter the crow's tail will become, really squeezing the toes together. And when you're ready, we're going to all meet back in Chaturanga or downward facing dog. So if you've been in wherever you are, we're coming back to downward facing dog, whichever way you choose to make your way there. And then we're going to go into a seated forward bend. So either stepping, hopping, floating through your hands, or just skidding on your bum is fine as well. Bringing your feet out in front of you and really lifting and lengthening through the top half of the body, and then exhale, folding forward, reaching for the feet, reaching for the ankles. If you have a scarf or a belt, it's good to feel a strong connection with something. This is quite an active forward bend. But wherever you are, really softening at the hip crease here. And just seeing if there's a little bit more space that you can move into. And with every inhale, really lengthening through the back of the body. And with every exhale, folding forward. Trying to keep the chest opening forwards here if you can. So inhale, expanding into the chest. And exhale, lengthening forwards over the legs. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, expand. Exhale, fold. Allowing the energies to settle back down. And yet another restorative forward bend. What a relaxing sequence, eh? 2 more nice big breaths here. And exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Then gently coming out the same way that you came in. And bringing the soles of the feet together. We're coming into Baddha Konasana, butterfly pose. Trying to get in as many animals as possible. So allowing the groins to open. And working the the elbows and the forearms into the calf muscles here. So really pressing into the calves. And actually today we're going to beat the butterfly's wings. So you're going to flutter your knees if you can. So just imagine that you're beating the butterfly's wings. So bringing the knees up and down. For 5, 4, beating the wings. 3, 2, 1, and then taking the weight even further forward. So coming to stillness, but just seeing if you can sink a little bit more into the stance. So bringing the weight right into your sit bones and really opening through the groins if you can. Sometimes doing that beat the wings thing just allows you to open up a little bit more into the hips. Staying here for 3 more nice big deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale 1. Inhale. Exhale 2. Inhale. Exhale 3. Then extending your legs down the mat in front of you. We're going to come into a seated spinal twist. So bring your right foot to the outside of your left leg, just about in line with your knee. And if you're feeling really open in the hips and if it feels good, you're welcome to bring your left toes towards your right hip. But so long as you've got both sit bones rooted on the ground, if your left leg is out in front of you, then making sure that your toes are flexed upwards. Then on an inhale, you're going to lift your left arm up. And as you exhale, you're going to bring the outside of the left arm into the outside of the right leg. And trying to lift, sort of press up into your sit bones. You're not slouching or collapsing as you inhale. And then as you exhale, really twisting over the right shoulder. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, twist. 1 more, lift and lengthen. Exhale, twist. Then as you inhale, coming all the way back round through a little D-rotation, bringing the hands to the inside of the leg. And then release. Bring the right leg up and out in front of you. And the left foot to the other side. And if you want to tuck your bottom leg, then please do. Otherwise, your right leg is strong with the toes flexed. Lifting up the right arm and bringing the outside of the right arm to the outside of the left thigh. Pressing into the fingertips, gazing over the left shoulder as you inhale, lift and lengthen, and as you exhale, twist. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, gazing over the left shoulder. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, twist. Inhale, lift and lengthen. Exhale, twist. 1 more, lift and lengthen. Exhale, twist. Coming through a D-rotation out the other side. Take both hands to the inside of your left leg. And then stretching both legs out in front of you. You're going to cross your legs like a cross over your feet, press into your hands and push back into a downward facing dog. Bring your knees to the ground and sink back into a child's pose, allowing the forehead to rest onto the ground. Take 1 nice long inhale and a nice long exhale. And we're going to take this up into our headstand practice. So interlacing, making sure that your shoulders are, your elbows are going to be shoulders width. So taking the hands to opposite shoulders, noting where your elbows are, and then trying to bring your arms, making sure that that is your base. Really bringing the backs of the arms into the ground. And then lifting up either into an embryo position, squeezing the legs together, and then if it feels good, lengthening them up. And really pressing into the backs of the arms. pressing into the backs of the arms, and shrugging the shoulders down away from the ears. If you fall out, it doesn't matter at all. This is why we practice. It's just a practice, isn't it? So pressing the backs of the arms into the ground, using your core, squeeze the legs together to lift up through the tailbone. Squeeze the legs together. Squeeze the legs together. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Shrug the shoulders down away from the ears. Squeeze the legs together. Using your core. Press into here. And if you've had enough of your headstand practice, it's great. Then coming down into your child's pose. And if you're still having a good time in your headstand, you can stay for 5 more nice big deep breaths. The purpose of inversions, of going upside down, is to give us a different perspective on the world. And if you're in your child's pose, really relaxing into it. We're starting to wind down now. And if you're working on your headstand practice at home, and this little break has given you a good opportunity to really practice your headstand, and you're starting to feel quite confident in it, then my invitation to you is to try and have a practice of it and hold it for 5 minutes. You really start to get to know your headstand when you do it for 5 minutes. And you can even have a little timer where you know you'll be able to see it. But it's a brilliant technique for exposing which areas of the body are doing too much work. Because when you're in perfect alignment, even after 5 minutes, it still feels quite light and effortless. But you might find that different areas start to buckle, and that's a good way of getting to know your headstand. When you're ready, picking up your head and sitting back into your sit bones. Actually, no, we'll come onto the front, come onto the belly, release the belly into the ground. We're going to come into a locust pose, Shalabhasana, to kick off our back bending. So bringing the arms to either side of the waist, lengthening the arms so the palms are facing up. And then squeezing the legs together. On an inhale, you're going to lift the chest and lift the legs. Lifting up through the chest and the legs and the hands if they'll go. Lifting for 5. Inhale, lifting up through the chest and the legs for 4. Inhale, squeezing the legs together. Exhale, 3. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Releasing, bringing the right cheek to the ground and giving the hips a little shuffle from side to side. We're going to come into bow pose. So reaching for the feet with the hands and taking hold of the outside of the feet if you can. And then on an inhale, you're going to lift the chest, lift the legs, try and lift the knees off the ground and really imagine kicking into the hand to lift the thighs and the legs off the ground. Exhale, 1. Inhale, lifting, try not to let the knees splay out if you can. Exhale, 2. Inhale, lifting, lifting, lifting. Exhale, 3. Inhale, lifting the chest. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 5. Releasing the other cheek to the ground. Releasing the legs. Giving the lower back a little tiny shake from side to side. We're tantalizingly close to the end, guys. When you're ready, flipping over onto your back. And we're going to come through bridge pose. So scooting your ankles so that you can reach your heels with your feet. On an inhale, you're going to lift the lower back, middle back and upper back, interlacing the hands underneath the back. And then really pressing into the feet, lifting up through the hips. We'll stay for 5. Inhale, lifting the chest towards the chin. Exhale, 4. Inhale. Exhale, 3. Inhale, opening into the chest. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 1. Coming down, upper back, middle back, lower back. Just allowing the knees to fall together. And taking a little sway with the knees from side to side, releasing the lower back. But try to avoid picking up the knees at this stage because we've got some more back bending to do. And when you're ready, either coming into bridge pose again, or if you feel like you want to take a full wheel, then bringing the hands either side of the ears and lifting up through the arms and legs. And otherwise lifting up lower back, middle back, upper back. And if you can, try not to let the knees splay out to the sides. And if that's happening, then maybe taking your feet slightly wider. But we want to make sure that the knees are tracking forwards, lifting up into the chest. And if you're in your bridge or in your wheel pose, making even more effort to make sure that the knees aren't collapsing outwards. And wherever you are, we're going to stay for 3 more nice big deep breaths. Inhale, expanding into the heart center. Exhale, 1. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, releasing all the way down to the mat. Bringing the knees into the chest. Giving yourself a little squeeze, a little rock from side to side. And we're going to find our way to happy baby pose. So spreading the knees and bringing the knees in towards the armpits. Reaching for the outsides of the feet. Trying to stay with the awareness inside the body. Remembering your intention. And just seeing if you can make sure that the whole spine is elongated and resting on the mat. The backs of the shoulders, the back of the head. If you can't reach the outsides of your feet, reach for the shins or the ankles. Staying here for 3 more nice big deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale, 2. Inhale. Exhale, 3. And when you're ready, allowing the feet to lengthen down the mat and making any last little arrangements for Shavasana. So maybe grabbing a blanket or something to put over your eyes. And we're going to put the Shavasana track on, which is, there's actually 2. It's awakening and then antonyms. So pressing play on awakening. So we'll have those 2 tracks. So apologies if that track has already started playing. But pressing play on awakening if you haven't already. And when you've had a chance to grab maybe a blanket, making any last little arrangements, we'll do a nice squeeze and release of everything. So when you're ready, squeezing the feet, squeezing the calves, squeezing the thighs, squeezing the buttocks, squeezing the stomach, squeezing the hands, the arms, the chest, the face. Squeeze everything, squeeze, 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 and release. Let's do 1 more of those. Inhale, squeeze the feet, the calves, the thighs, the buttocks, the stomach, the arms, the face. Squeeze, 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 and release. We're going to take a couple of sighs with an audible groan, if you please. Inhale. Let it all go. 1 more. Inhale. And settling in to your Shavasana, corpse pose. Evoking your empathy with the corpse and doing your very best impersonation of it. Allowing the feet to relax. The shins can relax. The calves can relax. Thighs can relax. Buttocks can relax. The stomach can relax. The ribs can relax. Collarbones can relax. The shoulders can relax. The neck can relax. jaw. Can relax. The forehead can relax. The eyelids can relax. The whole body can completely relax. Gradually start to deepen the breath. And gradually start to come back to your body. And if you'd rather remain here in Shavasana, then of course you can. But otherwise, taking a nice long inhale and a nice big stretch with the arms overhead. And when you're ready, rolling over onto the right hand side. Gathering yourself here for a moment and then pushing up into a seated position where we began. Keeping keeping the eyes closed and keeping the awareness drawn inwards, keeping the eyes closed. Notice how you feel in your notice how you feel in your physical body. Notice how you feel in your emotional state. Notice how you feel in your energy levels. And notice how you feel in your mind. Searching for any feelings of peace or bliss we may have cultivated throughout the practice. And making a promise to ourselves to take any learnings we may have gained through taking the forms of warrior, dog, cobra, making a promise to take that into our lives off the mat afterwards. Then bringing the awareness to the heart center and drawing the palms to touch, remembering your intention from the start. And when you're ready, we'll close with 3 Oms. Inhale. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. May all beings be happy. May the thoughts, words, my own life contribute in some way that's in freedom and happiness for all. Sorry about that. I really got the giggles at the end there. Thanks so much for joining us on this lovely sunny evening. I'll pop the Monzo link in the description. Have a really wonderful evening, everyone. Lovely to share practice with you. And happy Easter. Namaste.